Hello guys, you're welcome back to my channel. In this video, we'll be looking at these few chemical equations, right? The question says, write balanced chemical equations for this reaction. The first reaction is A, which is calcium plus water to produce hydrogen plus calcium hydroxide. All right, the second one is hydrogen sulfide, right, plus sulfur dioxide to give us water plus sulfur. Right. The third one is iron plus hydrochloric acid to give us iron 2 chloride. And the last one is CH4 methane plus O2 oxygen to give us CO2 carbon dioxide plus H2O water. All right, let's look at these problems one after the other. All right, solution. Right, the first one, we have calcium, right? Okay, what are we going to do right now is we will be writing out their symbols, right? Okay, calcium is ACA, capital C plus small a. All right, so plus. Now water is H2O. Okay, these produce what? Hydrogen, right? So hydrogen will exist in what? In its molecular state, right? So this is H2 plus calcium hydroxide, KCaOH in brackets, right? And you put a subscript of 2 here. Don't worry, I know if you are very new to all these binary or binary compounds might give you problem. All right, so I will create a separate video where I will be teaching you how to name all these binary compounds. You name them, you're able to name them and also write out their chemical formulas as easy as possible. Now, our target is to what? To balance this equation. Here is calcium, here is water, here is hydrogen, right? Here is the calcium hydroxide. Now, what is balancing of chemical equation? Whenever we try to balance a chemical equation, we want to ensure that all atoms, right, all atoms in the reactants side is equal to all atoms in the product side. Okay, in this equation, right, which one is our reactant and which one? Okay, you have to know that here is your reactant, right? So because calcium is the one reacting with H2O, so we call them reactant, and they produce hydrogen gas and calcium hydroxide. So this will be our reactants, right? And all these are our products. Okay, now let's go on to find the overall balanced chemical equation for this. Okay, now let's proceed one more time. Since you've understood this analogy now, so we have calcium here plus we have H2O here. So here is our H2 plus calcium hydroxide. Now let's conserve calcium first, right? Here we have one calcium, right? We have one calcium, and here we have one calcium. Okay, let's what? Let's assume that calcium is what is balanced, right? Now here we have what? We have two hydrogen and also what? Two hydrogen. These two means what? We have two atoms of hydrogen. One molecule of hydrogen is equal to two atoms of hydrogen, right? So good. Now what else? We now look at oxygen. Here is one atom of oxygen, and here we have one atom of oxygen inside this parenthesis multiplied by 2, which is two atoms of oxygen, right? There is what, there is a problem there. Okay, right? And if you look at it too here, we have what? Two atoms of hydrogen here and also two atoms of hydrogen here, we're making 4 overall, and here we have 2. Okay, what are we going to do? Now, our oxygen here is 1, right? In water, we have 1 atom of oxygen, but in calcium hydroxide, we have 2 atoms of oxygen. All right, let's put 2 here and see what will happen. All right. So if it is not right, we're gonna cancel it out. Now putting 2 here automatically means we have two atoms of oxygen here, and here we have two atoms of oxygen as well. Okay, here we have four atoms of hydrogen, okay, on this side, and here 2 plus 2, right? So 2 plus 2 also be 4 atoms of hydrogen. And here we have we have one atom of what? One atom of calcium, right? So on this side too, we have just one atom of calcium. Overall, the equation is now balanced, right? So the balanced chemical equation is Ca plus 2H2O give H2 plus Ca in bracket OH2. This is the balanced chemical reaction for the first reaction. All right. Now let's move to the second question. What's there in the second question? The second question says H2S in the gaseous state plus SO2 also in the gaseous states, and all produces H2O in liquid state plus sulfur in solid state. All right, let's have it here. Okay, have it that here will be our B. We have H2S. This is just the states of this particular matter, which is gas, plus we have SO2, which is also in the gaseous state, and that gives us H2O, which is in liquid state, plus sulfur, which is in solid state. Now let's move on, right? These are our reactants, right? While these are our products, right? By inspection, let's go on. How many hydrogen do we have here? We have two hydrogen here, also two hydrogen here. All right, but does that mean we are good? Let's continue. Here on this side we have two sulfur, right? And here we have one. That's where the problem lies now. And here we have two oxygen atoms, and here we have one oxygen atom. Okay, now let's look at what we're gonna do. All right, on this side, on our reactant side, we have what? We have oxygen in one substance, which is SO2, right? And on the other side, that oxygen is now transformed into what? Into water, right? The oxygen here is found in water. You see, right? Just like a one-to-one mapping, right? That gives us a very direct, easy way to tackle oxygen. Okay, now by doing so, you're gonna put two here. You put two here in front of water, that means you have two oxygen here, right? So you have two oxygen atoms here, and here you have two atoms of oxygen, right? So now let's come here and put two. Right, oxygen will be balanced in that way. Now, what about hydrogen? Okay, what happened to hydrogen? Hydrogen will be having, or we'll be having two atoms of hydrogen in what? In H2S, right? And that two hydrogen, or two atoms of hydrogen there has become what? Four overall, right? Four atoms of hydrogen are seen here. That's 2H2O, right? 2 multiplied by 2 will give us 4. What are we going to do? That means we are going to multiply this by 2, right? So if you say 2 multiplied by 2, that'll be 4 atoms of hydrogen. So that means you come here and put what? And put 2. Okay. Now we have what? We have 4 atoms of hydrogen on the reactant side and 4 atoms of hydrogen 2 on the product side. Now what is now happening? Now sulfur, right? So sulfur is found in both H2S and SO2, right? So, and overall you have two atoms of sulfur plus one atom of sulfur, making 3, right? So all has been converted to what? To solid sulfur here. But how many solid sulfur is produced? That's 1. Now 3 on this side, right? And 1 on this side. What are you going to do? We will multiply this side by 3. Okay, that means the sulfur here will be multiplied by 3. Okay, so now our final equation, right, is 2H2S plus SO2. That's what that yields 2H2O plus 3S. If you check, you see that everything is now balanced. 2 times 2 of hydrogen will give you 4, and on this side, 2 times 2 will give you 4. Sulfur here 2, sulfur here 1, right? So on the reactant side, we have 3 sulfur, and on the product side, we have 3 sulfur. Oxygen is 2 on the reactant side, and it is also 2 on the product side. So that gives us the balanced chemical equation for this reaction. All right, so what will now happen is that the remaining two will be what, will be given to you as an assignment, right? So this one, this one, and this will be given to you as an assignment. Try as much as possible to lay hands on it and work on it